Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. You know, one of the biggest misconceptions I hear all the time, especially from people thinking about getting into property or scaling up, is this belief that unless you've got tens or hundreds of thousands sat in the bank, you can't start building a portfolio. And honestly, I get where that comes from. You hear it in conversations, you see it all over social media. Deposits are bigger now, refurb costs have gone up, lenders want to see proof of funds. It's no wonder people feel like they're locked out of the market unless they've saved that magic six-figure sum. But the reality, well, it's completely different to what most people assume. And that's exactly what I want to unpack with you today. Because whether you're brand new to investing or you've already got a couple of properties but feel stuck trying to scale, this applies to you. You don't need £100,000 of your own money sat in the bank to start building a portfolio. What you actually need is leverage. And I'm not talking about financial leverage, though of course that plays a role. I'm talking about leveraging knowledge, other people's time, contacts, experience, even leveraging the deal itself to your advantage. And I'll be straight with you. Over the years, working with clients and seeing how investors progress, I've seen it all. Some people come into this with plenty of capital behind them, but here's the interesting thing. That's not always what makes the difference. The ones who actually scale, who grow solid portfolios, they've all got one thing in common, and that's understanding leverage. Let's break that down for a second, especially considering where the market's at right now, because things have changed a lot over the last year or two. The first thing people usually think about when they hear the word leverage is finance, using other people's money to grow. And yes, that's a huge part of this, but it's not as straightforward as some people think. Right now in the UK, we're seeing lenders offer up to 100% lending, and in some cases, day one refinancing, especially on multi-unit title split projects. There are bridge to let products out there that let you acquire, restructure, and refinance property in a much shorter time frame than people are used to. You've got joint ventures happening everywhere. Someone brings the money, someone brings the expertise. That's leverage working in real time. So if you sat there thinking your personal savings are the only tool you've got, you're missing the bigger picture. The savviest investors out there, well, they're using leverage to control more property, recycle their capital and grow portfolios without having hundreds of thousands in the bank. But leverage isn't just financial, and this is where people get stuck. They completely underestimate the power of knowledge. Let me say this clearly. In today's market, knowledge is one of your biggest assets. It's the thing that lets you structure deals in ways most people never think of. It's how you present yourself to investors and lenders with real confidence. It's how you avoid costly mistakes and spot opportunities others miss. And the best part, knowledge is accessible. You don't need to spend the next 5 years watching from the sidelines while everyone else builds portfolios. If you treat this like a business, if you study the strategies, learn from people who've done it properly and take it seriously, that knowledge starts working for you as leverage. Here's a truth most people ignore. Lenders and investors back people who know what they're doing. They want to see you understand the numbers, the risks, the exits. You don't attract funding or deals by quietly sitting in the background waiting for your savings account to grow. You attract them by showing you understand how the game works. Now let's talk about time, because this is where so many investors get caught out. Most people I meet are busy. You've got your career, your family, maybe you're already managing a few properties, and yet people convince themselves they have to do everything. Every viewing, every negotiation, every refurb personally. That's not only exhausting, it's completely unsustainable if you want to scale. The truth is, real growth happens when you start leveraging other people's time. That means building a proper team, working with brokers, solicitors, agents, contractors, letting them support the process so you can focus on the bigger picture. And no, I'm not saying cut corners or hand off responsibility blindly. I'm saying be strategic, know your role in the process, trust your team to do their part. That's how property becomes scalable. Now, here's the part hardly anyone talks about. You can actually leverage the deal itself. Certain deals are structured so that if you approach them the right way, they can help you fund your next move. A perfect example, well, title splitting. If you split the titles and refinance, you can unlock value almost immediately. You're not waiting around for years to benefit. If the deal's structured right, you can pull capital back out much sooner than most people expect. Sometimes if there's enough uplift in value, you might even reduce how much money you need to put in up front. Some lenders are willing to lend against the end value on the very day you buy the property. That changes everything. Right now with certain lenders, you can get up to 100% lending and same day refinancing on title split projects. That completely reshapes the strategy. You're not stuck for 6 or 12 months before pulling capital out, but you've got to understand how to leverage the structure of the deal to access that properly. The last area of leverage I want to cover, and it's a big one, is relationships. Your network is everything in property. I've seen it time and time again. The right relationships can save you months of work, open doors to deals most people never hear about, and save you from making expensive mistakes. If you're not building relationships with brokers, lenders, investors, you're leaving opportunity on the table. And look, it's not always about how much money you've got. It's about who knows you, who trusts you, and how you position yourself in those circles. I want to be real with you here. There's no shortcut to success. Leverage isn't about cutting corners or ignoring risk. It's about using every tool available to stack the odds in your favor. Because if you're sitting on the sidelines waiting to save £100,000 before you make your move, you're slowing yourself down. Meanwhile, the market's shifting, inflation's eroding your savings, lender criteria changes, prices move. By the time you think you're ready, the opportunity's already passed you by. The most successful investors I've worked with, they don't wait for the perfect conditions. They use every form of leverage available. Knowledge, relationships, deal structures, finance, other people's time. That's how they grow portfolios far beyond what they could have achieved with their own capital alone. So, do you need £100,000 of your own money to get started? No, you don't. But you need to be willing to learn. You need to build relationships. You need to be strategic with your deals, and you need to shift your mindset because your resources go way beyond your bank account. And listen, I know how overwhelming this can sound at first, especially if you're new to this or stuck wondering what your next move should be. That's exactly why I teach this properly, because the opportunity is out there, but only if you know how to use leverage the right way. If you want the practical side, how to structure deals, how to access same-day refinancing, how to leverage your position and grow without wasting years, that's exactly what I break down inside my program. But whether you decide to take that step or not, please take this seriously. Property is built on leverage. The sooner you understand that, the sooner you can stop being limited by your savings, and the sooner you start seeing real results. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you for being a subscriber. I'll see you again on the next one.